Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Lee, aka Rollin Thunder, and today we welcome back an old friend. We welcome back the 1098. And if you'd like to know more, sit back, relax, grab yourselves a cup of tea, and without further ado, let us get into the video. So ladies and gents, how are we all doing? I hope you're doing well. And as the title of the video suggests, we are going to be discussing the 1098. It's a bike I've owned for the best part of 10 years. It's an 1100cc V-twin with approximately 160 bhp. Now, as you may be aware, if you're a long-time subscriber to the channel, or a long-time suffering subscriber to the channel, you will know that I've had more than my fair share of issues with this bike, in the sense that she's been off the road for one reason or another. She's had multiple issues in terms of maintenance and just general wear and tear, which is partly down to me, but also partly down to, you know, Ducati's not so great build quality of the past. But today I figured I'd give her a run out, give her a tickle to my work, because I haven't taken her to work in God knows how long, and yeah, just basically bring you guys along for the ride, because it's, like I say, it's been a bloody long time since I last rode this bike in anger. I've also recently taken the opportunity to install a quad lock foam mount, which you can see on the left hand side of my handlebar. And if you're wondering how I achieved this, I basically took the fork stem mount that would traditionally go in the top of the yoke, and I put it in the end of my handlebar. Now, it's not the most traditional way of doing it, but it works. My phone, as you can see, is stable because I have the vibration dampener installed as well, and it's very stable. It's secure, it's not going nowhere, and I love the placement of it. It's not in the way. It doesn't cause me any issues when it comes to seeing my phone or turning the bars from lock to lock. So that works out quite nicely for me. All the work that was carried out on the Duke was done by Rob at RP Corsa. He took care of the fork seals, he took care of the wheel bearings, he took care of the belts, spark plugs. He also investigated the weird stalling issue that this bike has, which I think is just a trait of the bike now, if I'm honest with you, because he diagnosed that the front coil pack was overheating, which, if I'm honest, I don't think it was. So we replaced that, or should I say he replaced that. But so far, in the time that I've had the bike back from him, she's stalled once. Now, that could be a case of where things are bedding in, so I shouldn't really be too critical, or it could be, again, like I said, just a trait of the bike. I've also looked into changing the idle on the 1098 to make it a little bit more consistent, because I've been told by another Ducati mechanic that the target idle for the 1098 should be between 1300 and 1350 RPM. And she sits there quite happily at 1300 RPM, but where she's such a big lump of a bike, I think 1300 RPM is a little low. Now, I have known people to say that they've upped their idle to 1350, 1400 RPM. Some have even gone up as high as 1500 RPM. But I'm just wondering whether that's too high. But like I've already said, this is only the second time of me riding the bike in anger since I've had her back. So I need to give her, or give Rob the benefit of the doubt, get some miles under my belt with the bike, because like I say, I haven't ridden her for 3 years, and see how we get on. But one thing I do know is that she's got a lot more grunt than she used to have, because before I sent her away, she did suffer with a little bit of lack of legs, shall we say. But since having all the work done, she's a completely different animal. She's loud, she's rambunctious, she's talky as hell. Now I know the 1098 as a general rule of thumb was an absolute torque monster. But it seems like just recently, ever since I've had all the work done, she's become an absolute fucking animal. And in all fairness, I love that about her. But at the same time, I need to get these grips changed because it's way too slippery for my liking. I'm having to grip the bars too hard for my own good. If that makes any sense. So what I'd like you guys to do as well, if it's okay, in the comments down below, let me know what grips you're using if you own a Ducati, or even if you don't own a Ducati, but you think you've got a set of grips that may be beneficial to the bike, or should I say beneficial to me, then feel free to drop in the comments down below and I'll take a look. Now on the R1 I've got the Renthal medium compound grips, which work really well. They're nice and grippy for what I want to do with it, but I don't know whether or not I could transfer those grips to the Ducati and be equally as comfortable. I might do, I might not, I don't know, but the only way to find out is to test them, and obviously I can't do that right now because I don't have any. But I just don't know whether or not I should get rid of the OEM grips altogether on the Duke and just go for something that's a bit grippier, a bit more tactile, that's going to be better for me in the long run, because these are just way too slippery, and I'm having to grip the throttle tube especially way harder than I need to. Now again, that could just be a bit of a psychological thing on my part, because where the grips on the R1 are so much better, but we'll see. I also took the liberty of putting my longer Chinesium levers on, because I found that the short piezo's were just making my foot, someone's busted a nut there. My piezo levers were just a little bit too short and put too much strain on my forearms. It's nice to hear the V-twin booming once again, ladies and gents. It's been a long time since I've ridden her in anger anywhere, whether it be for commuting, for pleasure, for whatever. It's been a little while. Listen to the noise. Oh, how I've missed that noise, ladies and gentlemen. V-twin noise is my drug. It's been so long since I've actually ridden this bike so hard. I mean, listen to her. Just sounds like an absolute fucking animal. Sorry, I don't mean to swear, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. So ladies and gentlemen, having the Duke back on the road is a very pleasing thing to me, as you can probably tell. Still got to get used to the sheer amount of grunt that this thing has, because the R1 develops its power a little bit more easily. But apart from the issue with the levers, which I think I've addressed now by putting the long ones back on, get myself some grippier grips. A bit obvious that one, but you know, some people may not understand what I'm talking about. I'm still toying with the idea of upgrading the master cylinder to a Brembo 19 RCS. Whether I upgrade to the standard RCS or get the Corsa Quarter like I've got on the R1, I don't quite know what I'm going to do yet. But I bled the brakes and put DOT 5.1 brake fluid in. So we'll see how that goes, because I've never used 5.1. So I figured I'd do the Duke a favour and give her something nice for a change. But we'll see how that goes. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you will know that the R1 has just hit 30,000 miles. So I figured I'd give her a rest and take the Duke out. But it's so good to be on the Duke today. Okay, it's a little bit chilly, it's a little bit overcast, but it's not meant to rain today. So I am making the most of it while I can. There are a few other random bits and bobs I want to do to the Duke. Like I want to get a dyno tuned at some point. I don't know where I'll get that done. I also want to get the R1 tuned. But this is all future plans with money I don't have. As always. Just like with every passion that people have, nothing's for free. It is what it is, as they say. I'll just live with her as she is for now. Like I say, she's a little bit choppy here and there, but yeah, what do you expect? It's an almost 20-year-old 1100cc V-twin. That's more temperamental than a toddler having a tantrum. However, I wouldn't change it for the world. And we'll say by putting the longer lever on, making the clutch pull on my index finger a lot better. In addition to getting the Duke back on the road, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have any questions about the Duke, or the R1 for that matter, or if you've got any questions about the gear I use, or the bikes that I ride, or the bikes that I have ridden, don't forget you're more than welcome to put a question in the comments box down below, and I will do my very best to get back to you as quickly as I can. One thing I remember about these mirrors, they're fucking awful. It is what it is, I guess. Can't have everything. I wish I could, but I can't. So ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our video. I hope you enjoyed it and you got something out of it. If you've got any questions, feel free to put it in the comments box down below and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. But for now, this is me, Lee, aka Rollin Thunder, saying look after yourselves, look after each other, stay safe on the road, be safe, be happy, and as always, adios.